Hello, beautiful people. My name is Redis of Altamira, and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. This game is the reason why I started this channel. I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV since it relaunched as Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn, and it's very near and dear to my heart. I met my partner while playing this game. This game has gotten me through some very low times. It's been my outlet for creativity, something to pick up when I'm bored, and a source of joy and pleasure in my life. And I want to share it with everyone who is hesitant to buy this game because of other MMOs like World of Warcraft, where the player base is kind of toxic, or other such games like League of Legends, where the fan base is infamously toxic. Most of the people that I've played with in Final Fantasy XIV have not been that way, but I understand the hesitancy, and also it is a subscription-based game, so it might not be within the price range for everybody, so I wanted to make these videos so that people who are interested but are either traumatized by their experience with MMOs or those who can't afford to play can enjoy this wonderful story. As you can see from this little menu right here, there have been four expansion games since A Realm Reborn. On my main character, I have over 257 days worth of playtime, but I'm going to be starting a brand new character for y'all so that we can experience, we can experience the story together. The changes that Square Enix and Yoshida Sensei have put into this game. First, I'm going to show you the cinematic that played when people first launched up A Realm Reborn, or let it sit on the title screen, which is why I'm sitting in this menu and not on the title menu. Here we go. one of the things that I love about this game, I'm just gonna go back into this menu so it doesn't play again, is that all of these cinematics that are on the screen right now, the one we just watched, they all tell a story. And each title has a subtitle that kind of tells you where this expansion, where this game takes place in the overall narrative that they're telling. And this isn't a small narrative. It took them 5 games to get through one story arc. Okay? Excuse me. In the case of A Realm Reborn, it's telling the story of the destruction of the world and its rebirth, but it's not the whole story. And I am going to explore in this playthrough what the rest of that story is, because not a lot of people are playing that content anymore, and by not a lot of people, I mean I don't think anybody is at all. So I'm going to make it a point to do that as well, because it does add to the narrative, and some cutscenes do change based on the things that you do in the game and what class you are. Now, in my testing for this character, let's make sure we're on the right data center, yes. Playing on the new Dynamis data center. I'm going to jump over here. We are playing on the new Dynamis data center that's been added to the US servers. And we're going to be making like I said, we're going to be making a brand new character. And in my playtesting for this, we are actually at a huge advantage playing on this server. We're going to level up very, very quickly. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to be picking up a lot of classes, because our one character, can be every class in the game. They can be a tank, they can be a healer, they can be a DPS, physical, magical, and physical ranged DPSs. Like, everything is on the table. You can also take all of the crafting classes and gathering classes. It does not matter a whit. But as these are the races that are in the game, the playable races, I should say. We have the Hyur, which are vanilla humans. There's nothing wrong with being a vanilla human. There's the Elezen, tall, elf-like guys. Sentient potatoes. Cat people. Rogadin. Rogadin are just giants, big beefy guys. People often say that they are dragons, but they're not dragon people. And these little horn protrusion things are actually how they hear. They hear by echolocation. It's weird. It's the Hrothgar. Hrothgar are one of the newer races, and as of Endwalker, they're the only race in the game that doesn't have a second gender. The Viera were the other ones. The Viera are bunny people. When the Viera first launched, they were only females. But with Endwalker, they decided to release the males. And we're actually going to be playing as one of the male Viera.
Mm-hmm.
Now, every race comes with 2 clans, which just serve to specify which customization options you have. There is some difference between the stats that you get at level 1, but those stats become so irrelevant by level 2 that who cares? I have always been partial to the Vina's customization options.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make our boy as tall as possible. 73 inches. That's, I think, a little over 6 feet. Face. Let's see. Gonna go with this one. Gonna darken his skin color, skin tone just a little bit. Right about there. Pick our hairstyle. No. Yeah, I like that one. Alright, we're gonna pin that one, because... Ooh, I also like that one. Pinning the hairstyles I like, so that when I am done with everything else, I can go back and choose the hairstyle that I like the most. Hair color, we're going to go black with some... Nope, we're going to go black with some reddish highlights, really on the end of our hair and the tips of our ears, which we're going to be shaping next. Oh, I already have my preferred ear type. Gonna make them the longest. His jaw. Let's check out the jaw types. This is type 3. I like 3, yeah. The shape of the eyes. Let's go with that one. Go with a large iris. And let's give him odd eyes, heterochromia. We're gonna go with purple-ish color for one of them. And for the other one, a green. Let's change the environment so we can get a better look at those peepers. Maybe this one will be better. Doesn't help that he's slouching. Maybe desert environment. How about a room? That looks fine. Alright, need to change his hairstyle real quick so I can see them eyebrows. Alright, start at the bottom. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna keep with the one we have. Now the nose type. We're at number 2 right now. Go with nose 3. Lip size. Back to the void. And we are in mouth type 3, 4. Let's go with 1. Lip color. Let's make them a little... Yeah. Already done ear shape and length. Let's give them some eyelashes. No, that's a bit much. A sexy scar on his face. We'll have to come back and check out the beard with the hairstyles. We are going to slap a little bit of face paint on him, just to make it look like he's actually alive. And make it... let's make it darker first so I can see what the hell I'm doing. We're gonna make it that color, just a little bit light. Yeah. A voice. Alright, I like that voice. Alright, let's settle on the hairstyle. Only show the pinned ones. Longer in the back. Okay. I like this one better. Alright, now let's go back to the beard. How do we look with the beard? No beard. Alright, well, this is our character. Yes. No, I'm not going to save the appearance data. We're going to pick our character's birthday. That has, like it says here, this selection has no effect on gameplay. So we're going to go 6th moon, day 32. Which is the equivalent to New Year's Eve. This also has no effect on gameplay. We're going to pick... no. Nofika. And now for our class. Gladiator here is a sword and board tank. The pugilist is a punchy boy. Marauder uses an axe. That doesn't look like it, but that's a spear. The bar, this is an archer. Or we can be a healer. A thaumaturge. Or a nerd. Personally, the nerd classes are my favorite. Which is why I'm saving them for last. Instead, we're going to start with one of my least favorite classes. Because I might learn to appreciate it. And if not, well, at least you'll have fun watching me suffer. We're going to start with the sword and board tank. We will have the option eventually of changing our character's hairstyle and their appearance with an item that we have, because I've paid for so much time in this game. But this is where we're going to start. As an Elysian gladiator in the desert city of Ul'dah. Now, this game does have some voiced cutscenes and cinematics, but for the most part, it's just going to be me reading to y'all, so I really hope you like this voice. We're not going to be on Marilith. gotta start here. As for our name, we're gonna name ourselves Redis. Alt Mira. Let's go. The world is currently full. Players in queue 21. Not bad. Especially not compared to what it's like being in when there is a new X pack. Then the players in queue is so high that you're waiting in line for half a day, your internet drops, because of course it does. Alright, so I have been told that my keyboard is too loud and is picked up by my mic. So instead of playing the game with mouse and keyboard, I'm going to be playing on controller.
Here. Here. Feel. Hear, feel, think.
Hey. Hey, you. You alright, lad? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Feeling the effects of the aether, I reckon. You'll get used to it, though. Don't worry. It's a chocobo! You there. Halt. What's this all about? Inspection. Men search the carriage. I'm just an honest peddler, friend, so, don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. Sir, look. Somnus. Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days, unless you can afford the fine. Business as usual. Dodge! Ah! Emulsia! Emulsia! To arms! To arms! Both my mic volume's getting up there. I'll try to quiet down. 7 hells. Consider this a warning. Now go. All of you. Casual SWAT is casual. That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. And be careful around them, Baz. You be careful around them brass blades, lad. Bastards will have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits they are, only less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, eh? Hey, seeing as we've still got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation, see? Brunt's the name and Peddlin's my trade. And judging by her unusual garments, I'll wager you're one of them new adventurers. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? Why did Redis become an adventurer? To win glory. Glory, eh? Well, if you're willing to take on them tasks as other folks ain't, an adventurer such as yourself can win fame and can win fame with what coin can't buy. I can use words. When you arrive in town, you'll want to report to the Adventurers Guild. You can find out everything you need to know about the adventuring business in there. Just remember, though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. By the by, is this your first trip to Ul'dah? Yes, it is Redis's first trip to Ul'dah. It is? Well then, let this journeyed itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Ul'dah is ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folk know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monetarist cronies would happily get rid of her grace altogether. But that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists, and the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no sign of stopping. Of course, the Lizardmen, that's the Emulsia, couldn't care less about the Ul'dah politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers, need bring profit, and though it shames me to say, I'm inclined to agree. At long last. Behold Ul'dah, jewel of Thanalan, where folk turn sand into gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises. A solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance. Her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the 7th Umbral Era, Hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
And here's where we part ways, lad. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this. Boy, of thanks for putting up with me prattle. You never did tell me your name, though. But here's an idea. Become the sort of storied person that I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Final Fantasy 14. Oi, Venture. Over here. I mean you. Rush off the carriage by any chance? Eh, how can I tell? Name's Wymond, and my business is knowing every bugger else's. Well then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of welcome to our fair city? Free of charge, even. Just this once, like. Welcome to Ul'dah, the shining beacon of prosperity rising from the deserts of Thanalan. Please select the control scheme you wish to use. I'm going to use gamepad. Follow the instructions to move your character and adjust the position of the camera. When you are ready to proceed, speak to Wymond. I am going to be skipping all of the tutorials, or rather I'm going to be taking the tutorials off, because I already know what I'm doing. System help. I have no idea what I just did. But I am trying to update to make the graphics better. Just a little bit. That looks fine. Pad settings. We are using a PlayStation controller. Okay, this is clearly not where I want to go for the Help stuff. We are going to check skip playback of previously viewed scenario cutscenes, mostly because if I'm doing those things, then it's because I'm going back to do some grinding, which is mostly going to happen off screen, but I don't anticipate that being too great unless we are leveling a new class from 1 or something. Oh, I forgot to check it. Disable targeting of pets and minions when in battle. Yes, oh my god, yes. All of those look good. Filters. Enable target cycling. Toggle alliance members, pets and minions, NPCs and objects, minions, and signs. Even while our weapon is sheathed. Oh boy, is it obnoxious. Gonna apply those. Character. We do have display headgear checked, but not all Viera, not all headgear works on the Viera. So we're just gonna leave it as is. Good. We're gonna show limited effects. This will limit the amount of particles we have on screen, which will improve the game's ability to render. My computer is quite good, but I also don't want anybody getting too many headaches on YouTube watching this and trying to make sense of what's happening with all the particle effects and stuff going on. Okay, that's good. We're gonna hit sort items into sections based on category because I hate my bag being unorganized. UI settings. Keep item help on, yes. Action help, yes. I'm gonna say no to the active help. I'm gonna disable the play guide. Name settings. For other people's privacy, we are only going to show their names during battle, and it's only going to be their initials. Their names in the party menu will be blurred out as well. We're not going to show titles. Only going to show HP when their health is below 100. We're always going to display their names because the pet names because Carbuncle is life, and I love Carbuncle. Actually, we're just gonna hide. No, we're just gonna set it to when Alliance members are targeted. Other PCs, never show. Just never. Alright, cool. You can try setting up my hotbar a little differently than I usually do. This is also kind of experimenting for, you know, setting up my character normally. My other characters. Alright, let's talk to Wymond. Coming to Ul'dah. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Ul'dah, you must register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. Tis plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged, or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the quicksand and speak with Momodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild and can set you on the right path. How convenient, it's right in front of us. Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventurer. Quest accepted. You have begun a quest. Use the duty list to help you complete your task. Duty list is off to the right of the screen, just under our map. Momodi. Is a sentient potato, also known as a lalafell. Why, hello there. Who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name's Momodi, and I own this fine establishment, if it please you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, so you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you that it is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself out in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like a conflict with the Amalja, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on, forever now. Then there's the Garlean Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all there's worry. Worry and a lingering feeling of loss. Sometimes those dancing girls get out of sync, and it's kind of funny. It's also not a dance you can get in-game, yet. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the Lesser Moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an eighth hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. It was like the end of the world had come at last. Then things began to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next. Some of them 2 or 3. You think people would remember something like that, but the fact is, they don't. Nobody does. There is one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the calamity itself. Never we try to call their faces to mind. It's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I'll bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten, and so we call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. Okay. Alright then. A promise is a promise now. I'm counting on your help to put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register. Neat as you can. Redis Sultmira. Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. Alright, Mr. Altmira, on behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 is my witness. I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a fourth chance to offend. You two, attend to this scum. No, mercy, please. Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Nor an uncommon one, if I'm honest. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the women folk from time to time. Any road, welcome to Old Redis. Thanks! You're crazy. I like it. Take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little about our fair city. Complete. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. You have taken the first step in his adventure in the city of Ul'dah. Listen well to the wisdom of Momodi Modi, then go forth and discover the incredible adventures that await you. We gained 800 experience points from turning in one quest and leveled up to level 3. I am not worried about making any sort of level requirements at all. But I will be right back. There is something that requires my attention. You're not going to notice anything because I'm just going to cut all of this out. Right, I am back. I don't like where this is. I'm going to put you over there. No, right there. I'm going to put you in our second hotbar, which I should make sure is set up. Alright, hotbar, sharing, cross hotbar, yes. Set double tap left to left to double tap R2 to right 2. It's on hotbar 8 now. We're gonna go hotbar 4 for this other one. Hotbar 4 left and hotbar 4 right. So what we just did there is we gave ourselves a little bit of the flexibility that mouse and keyboard players have. There is one thing I need to go back here and fix. There we go. Now we can see our cooldowns. So now we have some of the same flexibility that mouse and keyboard users have. We have our first hotbar here, we can double tap to get to our second hotbar, and then we can hold down one and hit the other to get to yet a third hotbar. Alright, let's start a second quest. Before we do that though, quick reminder, have you had any water today? If not, you should get some. Water is essential to life, you know. Close to home, a level 1 quest at level 3. Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. I can use words. Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform so as to help you get to know the place. First of all, I want you to visit the Aetherite Plaza. To get there, head west from here till you reach Emerald Avenue, then look to the north. You should see a giant floating crystal called an Aetherite. If it weren't for Aetherites, traveling around Eorzer would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you still need to attune with them before you can use them. So be sure to do that with the one in the plaza. You ever attuned to an Aetherite before, Redis? If not, just lay your hand on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you've done that, I want you to pay a visit to the Gladiators Guild over at the Colosseum. Assuming that sword ain't just for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange over on the steps of Thal. Goods from all across Eorzer and beyond turn up there every day. You'll have no trouble finding armor, weapons, and anything else a fledgling adventurer like yourself might need. You might say that everything's for sale here in Ul'dah, as long as you've got the gil. Just make sure you don't pay more than you ought, Redis. There's plenty as unscrupulous to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think no one's looking out for their best interests. Which is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Cesaroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the markets once he's read it. In short then, visit the Aetherite Plaza, the Gladiators Guild, and the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. Oh, but before you go, a word of advice. While there's more than a few unsavory characters out there who will try to take advantage of you, there are also some with honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. A lot of folk are lured to the city by the promise of wealth and power. What many of them fail to realize is that instead of chasing after Gil the moment they get here, they ought to be making friends. Let it be known that you're willing to give as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak with the smith over yonder. Those lads always have some good advice for up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, that's about it for me. It's past time you got going. Oh, and let me know when you finished, will you? That way I won't spend my days worrying that you're down to your small clothes without a guild to your name. Hi. Sup? Alright, so we are going to be going out this here door. Gonna tune to this. We weren't told to, but we're doing it anyways. The reason for that is because it gives us access to the Aethernet, which is quick travel throughout the city. It can be activated by touching these here shards, and even the giant Aetherite that she told us to go to. Alright, first we're going to pop up here. This is going to be another thing that I skip, but I have a lot of mail to pick up from the Moogle. Some of it has gear for us to wear, mounts we can ride, minions we can have walking around with us, and some stuff that's going to help us level even faster. So I'm going to cut here, and we'll be back when we're done collecting all of our mail. Wasn't able to get all of my mail, the Moogle's holding out on me, but we have enough of it for now, and that took a whole 20 minutes. Remember how I said it was kind of funny when the dancers got off, when they weren't together? Yeah, this is what I meant. Alright, onward to adventure. We're not going to be accepting side quests unless they have a blue mark next to them, because there is absolutely no need for us to do side quests. At least level-wise. This gentleman is going to have a quest for us in the future. You can tell because he has the little plus sign next to his name. Those are the quests that we're going to be, the side quests that we're going to be tackling. And, well, there's people dead here. Ul'dah is always a fun place to go to. You've attuned to the Aetherite. Hail, adventurer. Might you have come at the behest of Miss Momodi of the Quicksand? Excellent. Which brings us to the matter of the attunement fee. That will be 100,000 gil, if you please, sir. What the hell? Apologies, but I do so relish the opportunity to make that jest. The look on your face was absolutely priceless. But the fact that you were so easily deceived suggests to me that you were unfamiliar with the use of aetherites. Allow me to explain. These crystalline agglomerations tap into ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means of travel swiftly from one place to another. Perchance you have heard of return and teleport? Well, these transportation spells make direct use of the aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. Given that there is an aetherite in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer with a mind to explore the realm will wish to seek out and attune himself to each and every one. But even if you have no intention of wandering beyond the Sultanate's borders, it would be prudent for you to attune yourself to any aetherites you encounter from now on. I pray you found that informative. Should you wish to learn more about aetherites or transportation magic, I should be happy to answer your questions. Return learned. You attune with the aetherite. You are now able to use the return spell. Set 4, okay. So, the return spell allows us to, well, return to our home destination. Which, for now, is, here. I like that outfit. Ul'dah is wild. That way is the Pugilist's Guild. You can tell because it has a fist over it. That's another thing I should put on my hot bar. Sprint. Oh. Now we can get around much faster. That's the gate leaving the city. Don't need to go outside yet. There's another Aetherite shard right outside the Thaumaturge Guild. And a set of doors leading to sarcophagi. I didn't know those doors were there. Or if I did know them, I've never been down there. Attune to the shard. Now, everything in this game has a story to it. There aren't a lot of moves that you need to come back to these trainers for, but there are some, and well, they add more content, which I think is great. Alright, we're gonna talk to Lulutsu. Welcome to the Gladiators Guild, friend. Tell me, are you new to the thrills of mortal combat? Well, whether you are or not, you are new to us. If you would take your place in these hallowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting, and like as not, far worse. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there is no way if you mean to take to the Blood Sands one day. And why wouldn't you? The Colosseum is only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Ul'dah. Where else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim a seat on the Syndicate? But there's not an Ul'dah alive who is inspired by the rise of the self-made man. And there's no truer embodiment of this than the gladiator who wins riches and fame with his sword. Throughout its long and storied history, this guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory to fight in triumph midst the roar of 10,000 voices, then this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy, and if your soul stirs, join us. Way of the Gladiator. It gives us food, which increases our experience gain even more. Lulutsu wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Gladiators Guild. What will it be? Will you rise above the masses and inscribe your name in legend, or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? Join the Adventurers Guild? Yes. A decision you shan't regret. One moment. Make way for Red Assault, Mira. Fresh meat coming through. Now then, before your enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Sword Mila. Seek her out and obtain her approval. There's Mila. Forgot to equip some of that gear that we have. So what we just equipped was a helm, the Helm of Light, which increases our XP earned from battle, crafting, and gathering by 20% when level 10 and below. And then Menfina's earring, which increases our XP by 30% when level 80 and below. And its stats will change and level up with us, as opposed to the Helm of Might. We also equipped the Ring of Fidelity, which increases our vitality, which is... What does vitality do again? Affects maximum HP. Okay. Here's Mila. I heard Lulutsu, so you're at Saltamira. 'Tis a good, strong name. On behalf of the Gladiators Guild, allow me to welcome you. I am Mila, Guildmaster here. So you wish to study our arts. I presume you have your reasons for choosing the sword over all other weapons. Perhaps you think it's easiest to learn. A sword is a simple weapon, but to wield a blade, well, is anything but simple. For every Colosseum champion to emerge from our ranks, there have been countless disappointments who failed to achieve greatness. Bear that in mind before you answer me, Redis, for I do not ask this question lightly. Have you the strength to live by the sword, and if it be your fate, die by it? Have you the strength to live by the sword? Yeah? Then welcome, Gladiator, to your new home. That is a big sword on the wall over there. Wonder if Cloud could use it. Let's not waste time, shall we? I would gauge your aptitude for the sword. Just outside the gates of Ul'dah, you'll find plenty of marmots, hornets, and shrews. Slay 3 of each and return here when finished. A simple task, but essential to your training nonetheless. Now go. Okay. I don't think we attuned to this aetheryte yet. We did not. Now I'm going to open up my map here because I get lost quickly in this place. And it's the only city-state where I get lost. Alright, head up here. Hit the Aethernet shard. Over here. That's where the Miners Guild is at. Gonna stop here real quick and talk to one of these guys. Not him. Is it this one? Yes. Belts used to be an equipable item in the game, but they took them out with this last patch because they did very little for the gear score. I'll come down here to certificate exchange. No. Spoils? Yes. Dream of the Faith exchange. These items are gender locked, but they're Final Fantasy X looking inspired gear, and by inspired gear I mean you got Titus's outfit and you got Yuna's outfit. So we're gonna pick up Titus's outfit. Got these in the mail. Trade for the Abe's gloves. Yeah. The Abe's half slops. And the Abe's boots. Let's see. Nope. Let's see what this gear looks like on red here. Not a fan. Not a fan. Gonna go back to the race starting gear. Come down here to the Weaver's Guild. Gonna make a small detour because there's two Aethernet shards, up these stairs that I always seem to forget about whenever I'm trying to start a new character to figure out how a class plays. Turn here. Okay. There. This one is. What we're going to do when we go to every new city-state is we're going to... I want right by the door. We're going to attune to all the Aethernet shards, that way we don't have to worry about them anymore. Some of them we can get just by doing quests, but I'm probably going to be running around exactly like this, just because it gives you a size of scale, and it reminds me of where things are in relation to each other. And now we're going to teleport back to the Weaver's Guild. We need to head northeast-ish. Okay. Yeah, this way. Conniving ne'er-do-well. What's up, buddy? You don't look suspicious there, standing right outside a door at all. Not at all. Not at all at all. We gotta come over here and talk to Sissy Rogue after tuning to the Aethernet shard. We have access to the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. You have attuned yourself to all the Aethernet shards in Ul'dah. The Gate of Nald, the Gate of Thal, and the Gate of the Sultana, and the airship landing are now accessible as Aethernet destinations. Now, not only can we fast travel into this around the city, but we can fast travel to the city exits, which will make things a lot easier going forward. Talk to Ciceroga. And you are? Oh, a newly come adventurer. But of course, yes, I am Ciceroga. What can I do for you? You would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace. Very wise. As for my fee... What? You expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Ul'dah for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you could afford my services, but the fact you offer nothing is laughable. Let's hand over the letter of introduction. Oh, Mistress Mamodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Sulda's markets have ever served as both literal and figurative centers of Aeosian commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Vilbrand and Aldenard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ul'dah as their base of operations. They see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided as he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek, adventurer? A deadlier sword, perhaps, or a shinier trinket? Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north, you'll find merchants peddling armor and accessories, curatives, and crafting materials. And to the south, you will find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. That is all the complimentary aid you shall have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Mamodi. Now, off with you. Okay, bye. We're gonna take the Aethernet to the Gate of Nald. And we got our first achievement. That was so hard. Oh my god. Alright, now we're gonna beat up some of these poor defenseless creatures. I say defenseless creatures. They're not defenseless. They fight back. Especially these hornets. It's going to be very satisfying killing them for reasons that you'll probably find out as we go through the game. There's level 4, and we got our first chained ability, Riot Blade. What Riot Blade does is it combos off of Fast Blade. Just like that. Now we need to sprint all the way over here for some shrews. As you can see, Riot Blade does a lot. And that's not even the end of the combo. There we are. Now we just run back to one of these gates. Yeah, this one. The blue symbols next to the creatures' names indicate that they're not hostile. That will change as we go forward, of course, but and depending on what the symbol is, we can either try to take it on ourselves, or we can laugh because we're gonna die. So first we're gonna go to the Gladiators Guild, turn that quest in. That will put us up to level 5, I believe. Yeah, no, there's no belief about it. It will. Welcome back, Redis. I take it you've dispatched the beasts, and with ease? Rest assured there will be far greater challenges to come. If you wish to master the sword, you must test yourself against a wide variety of foes. To this end, I present to you this hunting log. It contains information on creatures ideal for a gladiator in training. You will doubtless gain valuable experience should you seek out and slay them. It is only with such practice that you will recognize and eliminate the deficiencies in your technique. Your training under me shall continue once the haft sits so snugly in your hand that you cannot imagine holding aught else. Until then, Redis, the next gladiator quest will be available from Mila upon reaching level 5. Complete quest. Oh, look at that. We hit level 5. Mila. Kicking the Hornet's Nest. First Sword Mila wishes to teach you the fundamentals of the gladiatorial arts. Gladiatorial arts. Ah, Redis, I take it you and your sword have become better acquainted. Then I will now instruct you on another fundamental aspect of what it means to be a gladiator. Commanding your opponent's attention. As gladiators, we are trained to engage enemies at close range, weathering their attacks as we deliver our own. However, there are times when we must do battle alongside allies whose talents are not the same as our own. In such a situation, your role is not to slay the enemy in front of you, but rather to defend the man beside you. We do this by eliciting the enmity of our opponents through attacks and techniques designed to incite their hatred. You must learn to draw the enemy's attention to yourself and to trust in your stout constitution to endure. In so doing, you protect your weaker comrades who would otherwise perish. To help you better understand this, there is a task I would have you perform. It just so happens that Momodi of the Quicksand has requested our assistance. A gang of Lominsan marauders has paraded into town and begun harassing people outside her establishment. Men like these prey on the weak, but will turn tail and flee at the first sign of defiance. You need not resort to violence. It will suffice to show them that you are not afraid of them and will not tolerate their behavior. Seek out the Lominsons and make your presence known by bellowing, "Face me, marauder." In this way, you will protect the people of Ul'dah as you would your allies in battle. Alright. So this also kind of functions as an emote tutorial. We are going to go to the Adventurers Guild. There's one there. I'm going to target him. Make sure that our chat is in say. I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger if I can. I cannot. Then we're going to type /me, like it says in the quest, right here. What? You blaming me because this little shit shat his own pants? Bugger him and bugger you too. Target this one too. After you've done an emote or after you've typed anything in chat, you can just hit the enter button and hit up or down to cycle through your messages or what you've sent. We only have the one so far, so we're just gonna hit up /me. You know your friend is a 12 damn cheat. Thinks he can charge us more because we're foreigners, but he'll get his own back, mark me words. Yeah, walk away. Next, the Keen-Eyed Marauder. Once more, enter into up. Oi, come on now. He was disrespecting my proud Seawolf heritage. Spit. Fine, I'll leave the bastard be, but we ain't finished. And then one more up here. Enter up. The hell's is your problem? Maybe she likes her men rough. What are you supposed to be? Her bleeding manservant? It don't matter. You've gone and spoiled the mood. Bruh. Oh, tell the marauder inside the quicksand to face me. Just who the hells do you think you're speaking to, maggot? I'm Farmer, the Driven. And me bloody marauders have been reaving so long mothers scare their children with tales about us. Don't believe my words? Then I'll let me axe do the talking. Oh, this is lively even for the quicksand. You two are going to put on a show for us. What's this, another god's damned fool? Show some respect when you talk to. Farmer, the Driven, leader of a troop of bloody mummers or some such. I heard you the first time. Your voice carries quite well. Unless you want me to split your skull with me axe, you better... That sword. It couldn't be Frenzy? But only the sword of Nald would... Bloody hells, it's you! You know, I've never been one to stand back and watch. Mind if I join the fun? Begging your pardon, sir. Run away, run away, run away from this man. Why do they always do that? Looks like it's just you and me. Standing up to that Lamenson was quite brave of you, and quite foolish. I think I like you, Gladiator. Name's Aldous, and I'd buy you a drink, but I'm afraid I just spent the last of my coin. I used to be a young gladiator like you, but then I took an arrow to the knee. Back then but that hardly concerns you. These days I'm just an explorer of the unexplored, a seeker of as yet unknown experiences. Like that beautiful stranger keeping my bed warm right now. Gods, I've missed this city, this wonderful desert jewel of debauchery and sin. Well, if you'll excuse me. While we're here, we're going to turn in Momodi's quest. Actually, no. I'm going to try to finish the quests as we get them. That way, there's not much confusion or overlap in the stories for people to get confused. That sounds like a better idea to me. So we're going to take the Aethernet back to the Gladiators Guild. No, we have to talk to Momodi. Here's a thought, Red. Check your quest log. That teleport sound is really awful when you have 4 or 5 people doing it at the same time in the same place. It's awful. Alright, we're gonna have to complete Momodi's quest first. Let her know that we've gone around. How was your tour of the city, Redis? Get lost, did you? Almost. Aye, well, Da'a's a big place with lots to see and do, but wandering around aimlessly don't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So, when you go exploring, explore like you've got a purpose, eh? Alright then, all that's left is for you to work hard, make money, and spend it here at the quicksand. Cool. Level 6, and we learned Total Eclipse. Total Eclipse is an AoE skill. It is an AoE skill, yeah? Yeah. This is going to be our primary means of holding aggro in dungeons. It hits everybody, and it gets everyone's attention. We don't have any of these yet, but I'm going to slot a few of them. We're going to put Rampart there. Interject there. Reprisal there. Provoke here. Shark here. Actually, I'm going to move Interject over here because I want Arm's Length to be there. Stuns don't really work much in the late game, but we're going to put one on our hotbar anyways. Alright, let's talk to Momodi again. I swear, if I hadn't seen all this with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it was him. Everyone here thought he died years ago. Listen, Redis, do me a favor and don't tell Mila about meeting Aldous, alright? She doesn't need this sort of drama. Why? Well, let's just say some folk ain't good for one another. Okay. We're not going to pick up her quest just yet. We're going to go talk to Mila. Here's Guild. I've already heard of your exploits at the Quicksand, Redis. You did well to send those marauders packing. Wish I could say we've heard the last of them. Alas, we've received reports of axe-wielding raiders assaulting merchants traveling through Scorpion Crossing. It seems words will not suffice after all. I want you to finish what you've begun, Redis. Head to Western Thanalan and see that Farmerl and the Driven, and all those who have shared in his crimes, never trouble the people of Ul'dah again. Okay. We're gonna go outside the city. Huh. Western Thanalan. Achievement number 2, mapping the realm. Western Thanalan. Some out from the Yokai Watch event that they've done a couple of times. We are going to do a little wanton slaughter here for a second. Oh, we haven't killed all the ladybugs we need. I am going to try to make it a point to fill out as many hunting logs as I can, as well. Just because I've never done it before. Alright, gonna fight some cactuses. In other games, cactars are higher level enemies. In this one, they're just annoying. And also capable of one-shotting some characters when you first encounter them. Some of their variants, anyways. And that gained us a level. But what we need to do is come over here. Alright, that quest unlocks, this quest here, from Ime, unlocks a housing area, but we're not going to be going to any housing areas. Because they're ridiculously expensive. Let's talk to the nervous merchant. They tore me from my saddle and took everything I own. Bring my goods back to me, I beg of you. Hammer beaks. Ooh, and we joined a fate. We'll do the fate too. first we're going to pick up... Oh, we do not have the time to do the fate. Fates are random world events. I say random because you never know when they're going to pop up. Unless you're one of those people who meticulously tracks every detail of the code. Which I am not. There's Farmer the Driven. The orange marker you just saw on the ground is an AoE indicator. That marker, yeah. If you are standing in those when the cast goes off, you're going to get caught by the AoE and it's going to hurt. Alright, for this next group, we're going to kill them with Total Eclipse. Some people would say that AoE damage is not enough to warrant using them. The answer to that is what just happened. We're probably going to find another Earth Sprite just going about our travels, so there's no need to hunt one down. Instead, we're going to run back here, give the nervous merchant his goods. "12 bless you, adventurer. If it weren't for good men like you, I'd never leave home." And now we're going to return to the Gladiators Guild and turn this quest in. For the record, this is a level 5 quest. We are level 7. I believe for the main story, which is we're going to be continuing with Momodi here in a second, is level 2 or 3. So at least as far as the main story goes, we are over-leveled. Alright, we are right outside of the guild. Cool. Good, it is finished. And with that, this stage of your training is complete. This time your enemies were ill-behaved ruffians, but who knows what manner of opponents you will face in the future. Regardless, I have faith that you will do well. Master your sword, and you shall master yourself. Now then, there will be work for you in the days to come. Return to your training, Redis. We will speak again. Alright. We picked up a new weapon, a Bronze Bastard Sword. And we can take our pick of gear. I am going to pick the custom-made Cuirass. And we learned Rampart, which is an ability that is only available to tanks. It's a female Ara, judging by the gear they're wearing, they are level 15 at least. Yep. I've played this game too much. Alright. This armor doesn't look bad. I'm actually feeling it a little bit. But I did say we are a sword and board tank, so before we go to talk to Momodi, I'm gonna go see about getting a shield. Even if it's just a wooden one. Best place to do that is from the Sapphire Avenue exchange. let's see. Battlecraft armor. Disciple of War Gear. 1 to 9. It's not you. Okay, that's weird, but okay. It's probably got the weapons. In which case it should be up here. Independent Arms Merchant. Yes. Disciple of War Arms. Level 1 to 9. We are big enough to buy the bronze hoplon, but we do not have the cash, so we're going to settle for the square maple shield. And now we have a shield. Don't mind that our hair is clipping through the shield. It's fine. We are not going to be taking the Aethernet to the Adventurers Guild because it's right through this door, right here. So why bother wasting our time like that? Alright, from this quest, we're going to be getting boots. Memoti of the Quicksand wants to introduce you to a certain someone at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. We must rebuild. Well, youngling, how are you finding our fine Ul'dah then? Got your bearings about you. It's funny that she called us youngling because Vieira lived longer than Lalafell, so realistically, Red here is older than she is. If so, mayhap it's time you ventured beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Ul'dah are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalan, that's another altogether. A noblook you might fancy speaking to, and he you. Name of Papashan. You'll find him over at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. The dispatch yard's over in central Thanalan. Just head out the door across the hall and you'll see the Gate of Nald staring right back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it for long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though, more than I'd care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. Alright, I've been recording for almost 2 hours now, so this is actually where I'm going to end this episode. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified of when I upload more of these. Ring the bell so that... Did I just say ring the bell? I don't care. Ring the bell so you're notified. Leave a comment, share it with your friends. Until next time, I will see you all in the next video. Bye. Be good people.